Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Sean here again from Sean's Rabbit Train Aquaponic Produce, and we're back with another rabbit farming video. We apologize for the time that we haven't been active, but know that we've been active in other areas. We've been really busy with other aspects of the business, so time has been a bit limited to film videos. However, we hope to resume the regular pace of one video every Monday, please God, and one aquaponics video every Wednesday, please God. Now this week we're talking about growing more forages, so stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back after the intro. Okay guys, so we're back. Today it's just me. My own girl Josefina is out on another job, so I'm doing it solo today. So I hope you guys don't mind just looking at my ugly face. Okay, so we're talking about growing more forages. Why we should grow more forages. Now, y'all have to excuse me with the bird noises in the background. Alright, we've had a lot of additions to the aviary. Alright, we'll feature that in another video as well. We had a number of donations of other birds to our already big collection, so we'll feature that in another video. So if you hear a lot of bird noises in the background, forgive me in advance. Okay, so now in recent times, this whole pandemic issue has been causing something of a disruptive and somewhat destructive ripple effect across the entire globe. Right, some entire economies have been shut. People in different parts of the world are suffering different types of shortages and whatnot. But here in Trinidad, when it comes to animal production on the whole, not just rabbit farming, what we've begun to see is a shortage of commercially available pellets. That's concentrate feeds. The main reason for that is because most of the raw materials that are used in the production of those feeds locally are stuff that are imported from other countries. So for reasons unknown to me, probably because of their own shortages in their country, there's been less export of those key raw materials that we use here to produce our commercial feeds. So as a result of that, now there's a new trend that we've been forced to develop here in the Caribbean, or more so in Trinidad and Tobago, where persons have to look at ways to more sustainably be able to feed their rabbits. And this is where forage comes in. So right now, everyone is looking at growing more forages in order to be able to feed their rabbits. So we now have this big movement towards farmers producing more forages to be able to feed their rabbits. Now, I know in the rest of the Caribbean, I'm not sure of some of the crops they use, because even though it's the Caribbean and all the islands are relatively close, the cultures are diverse and completely different from island to island, as well as the topography and all of that. So different crops will be used on different islands. So guys, let me know in the comments, you guys up there in Jamaica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and all of you guys follow us on YouTube as well. Let me know in the comment section. The Republic of Dominica, we sent some rabbits there. I spoke to some persons recently in the Bahamas. Right, so a lot of the Caribbean, you all let me know in the comment section what type of forages you all currently grow and what you all intend to grow to be more sustainable at feeding your rabbits. I know out there in the US, you guys probably use a lot of alfalfa. I know you all do a lot of hays like Timothy, alfalfa as well. But I think alfalfa is also fed green to livestock. Let me know what else you all do. We know we have some followers out there in India as well, India, Pakistan, the Philippines, right? You guys always send us comments, so let us know what you all are growing out there for your animals. As well as I believe we have some followers in Europe as well. I spoke to someone in France recently, I don't know if you all use forages out there, but if you do, let us know in the comment section what you grow to replace or supplement the commercial feeds. Okay, but here in Trinidad and Tobago specifically, there are a number of grasses that grow here naturally that are quite decent, you know, to support your livestock on. If you haven't seen it, we did a video entitled Feeding Rabbits. In that video, I highlighted a number of the local grasses that we use to feed animals here in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you haven't seen that video, go check that out. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Right, so I'm not going to recap all of that. Right, go look at that video and let me know what you think. But we here at Trinidad Produce, we have taken to growing more Tricantera. But what persons can do, since food in general has seen a bit of a shortage across the country, you could probably look at growing multi-purpose crops in a sense. When I say that, I mean crops that you would normally grow for human consumption, but the byproducts and the waste of those crops can be used to feed livestock. Right, like for instance, we would grow a lot of pigeon peas here in the Caribbean. Pigeon peas, rabbits love the stems, the leaves, the flowers, even the pods. Right, so if you're growing pigeon peas, you're going to eat the peas, the rabbits are going to eat the pods, the leaves, things like that. If you're growing corn, they're going to eat the corn stalks, not the corn itself, because too much corn in a rabbit's diet tends to lead to issues with bloat and things like that. We'll cover that in another video. So avoid feeding too much of the actual corn grain. You can use the cob after the grains have been removed, and you can use the corn stalk as well. I see farmers use a lot of banana leaves and plantain leaves. Rabbits eat that as well. And recently I saw a lot of people using Moringa. I don't know how well Moringa grows in other parts of the world, but it grows quite well here in Trinidad and Tobago, so there's lots of Moringa around, so that's also a good option. You have to be a bit quick with Moringa, however, because in a couple of days as it dries, all the leaves tend to fall off of the stems, so you have to either collect them or feed it very early on before the leaves drop off. Okay, so those are just a few things to mention. Obviously you can use some fruits and vegetables as well in limited quantities. Be mindful of the water content as well as the sugar content in what you intend to feed your rabbits. Most fruits are recommended mostly as a snack, not necessarily as a main diet item, okay, because most fruits are high in sugar. I know we have a lot of mangoes here in the Caribbean. Rabbits love mangoes, but give them limited amounts because there's a high amount of sugar in those local fruits. So, having said that, let me give you all a quick glimpse at what's going on with our Tricantera production. Okay, so this is my Tricantera hedge that's just leading up to the front of the rabbitry. Right now, this grows year-round endlessly. Right, it looks a bit shorter now because we've been cutting more and more every day to supplement with feeding so that we're using less commercial feeds. On this side we have some shorter ones that were quite tall at one time. As you can see, there's one, he's still up in the air there. All of them were that height. We recently cut them back because we've been feeding a lot of Tricantera, as well as we've been keeping a lot of cuttings to propagate more plants, so we'll have a large amount. Because apart from cutting to feed our rabbits, we also supply a couple other farmers weekly with Tricantera. So that's also an option. If you have the land space, you can plant a lot of forage and farmers would be able to purchase from you at a reasonable cost to supplement their feeding. Right. As you can see here in these buckets, these are cuttings that I would have saved from when we cut to feed our rabbits. All of them have already begun to sprout leaves, so they will be going out into the field shortly to complement what we've already planted out there. So I'll take you guys out there in a bit and show you what's going on with the ones that we already planted out in the fields. Okay, so we're out in the field here, and as you can see, I think I previously mentioned that Tricantera likes a bit of shade and well drained soil, enough water but well drained. So as you can see, this bed here is a bit of a turtle back, so that it's sloping sharply on both sides, so the water runs off quite easily, and they get quite a bit of shade from these large jamun trees that we have growing along the fence line here. But so far, all of them, well, most of them, because the guys who cut the grass for me occasionally, they accidentally cut down a few of the plants, right? But I have enough sticks to replant, so it's no big deal, right? But as you can see, most of them have already started growing quite nicely, you know. We are in the height of our rainy season here right now, so pretty soon these guys are going to take off and grow uncontrollably, and we'll have a large amount of forage. We'll be able not just to supply our rabbitry, but we'll also be able to supply other farmers with forage for their rabbits. See, so we have two nice long rows here. This is probably it's about 150 feet in length, right? 2 rows, and we have a very short row on the outside here to my far left. We have a few there as well, but I have a lot more sticks in the buckets that I showed you guys. So later on today, when the sun is a bit cooler, I'll come out here and continue the motion, replanting in the areas where the ones that died, will replace those, as well as the ones that were accidentally cut down by the weed whacker guys. Alright, just to the left of that bed there, you can see we have a couple of long beds that we've somewhat prepared for other crops. You can see a lot of mounds that were done here. The guys are planting sweet potatoes and cassava. All of that is with the intention, not just for human consumption, but to also feed our animals, because we have, apart from the rabbits, we have some wildlife animals that we keep, like agoutis, and we have a lap. I don't know what is the scientific name for lap, but I know it's indigenous mostly to Trinidad and the South American mainland. Doubt very much it's present on any of the other Caribbean islands. And of course, we have a large number of birds, macaws, and conures, and lovebirds, and things like that. So we're growing a lot of stuff that we'll be able to feed to those animals. Okay, so as you know, like I said before, we're growing a lot of stuff, but what we've noticed recently is there's a bit of a shortage of seedlings and seeds as well throughout the country. So we have received some seeds from persons. If you're in an area where seeds are readily available and you feel inclined to send us a care package, we'd be quite grateful. Okay, right? Anything, of course, that would grow in a tropical climate. So right now, our main focus, sorry about that, my battery died. So as I was saying, we've been focusing a lot on growing more field crops to supply the local market, as well as to be able to supply ourselves with food, so we don't have to incur any additional costs unless we have to. Okay guys, so as you can see, the sun has now come out in all its glory, right? But we're not complaining, because like I said, we're in the height of the rainy season here, so we've been having so much rain, it's ridiculous. We've had quite a bit of flooding in some areas. However, my area, we never seem to have that problem. We have pretty good drainage up here, so we're okay on this end. But like I said, we're thankful and we're also happy to be back with you guys. We missed that interaction with you all. We hope that you all share the same sentiment and that you find our content useful or at the very least entertaining. So again, if it's your first time here with us, then you definitely need to hit that subscribe button. Right? Like, follow, share, all that good stuff. Okay? Share it with someone who you think would enjoy our content or find information useful. Right? If you're a regular follower, thanks again for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you guys next Monday when we bring you a brand new rabbit farming video. Alright, so on behalf of my business partner Sean McLean, we thank you and we look forward to seeing you guys again. Peace.